I sat in my car outside my house, the weight of my life pressing down like a storm I couldn't escape. My hands gripped the steering wheel, trembling under the strain of despair. Just a few years earlier, I had it all. A thriving company I'd built from the ground up. I was my own boss, living my dream. I was in peak physical condition. Fitness was the foundation of my life, a source of strength and stability that carried me through every challenge. But that dream had crumbled. I lost it all. With the collapse of my company, my confidence, my security, and my identity were gone. Now, I was working 14-hour days in a warehouse, stacking pallets and loading trucks, each shift a relentless reminder of how far I'd fallen. My health was on the brink. My days were consumed with fast food and cigarettes. My nights with vodka and the haunting question, how did it all come to this? Rock bottom had arrived. I managed to pull myself together enough to walk into the house. My beautiful wife met me at the door. With tears in her eyes, she spoke these words. You are not okay. I miss you, and I'm so worried about you. Myself and our daughters need you back. I knew something had to change. I couldn't change my circumstances, but I could change myself, and I would. So I went back to the one place I knew I could find myself again, the gym. And it wasn't easy. That first day back, I felt weak physically and mentally. Every rep was a struggle. Every set was a challenge. But I kept showing up. Day after day, I pushed through. My body grew stronger. My mind grew sharper. I started to reconnect with who I was and rediscover the strength I knew I had within me. That same year, I set my sights on a new goal, competing in a bodybuilding competition. For me, it wasn't about getting on stage. It was about reclaiming who I was. I threw myself into the process with everything I had. Every carefully planned meal, every grueling training session, every rep was a step closer to rediscovering the person I knew I could be. When that day finally came, it wasn't about competing. It was about proving to myself that I could rise above, and I did. Winning that competition wasn't about a trophy. It was a powerful moment of redemption. For years, I competed successfully, each victory driving me to aim higher and dream bigger. And along the way, I navigated life's struggles, using fitness as a tool to sharpen my mind and strengthen my discipline. Then, at a time when I once again felt completely lost and uncertain of the path in my professional life, I set my sights on what would become the defining challenge of my journey, the Canadian National Bodybuilding Championships. I poured everything into my training, balancing it alongside rebuilding my professional life. Because no matter how many times life knocked me down, I had the power to rise. I became a Canadian national champion. I believe that when we're in peak physical condition, we are in peak mental condition. And when we're in peak mental condition, we are limitless. This is the power of resilience. No matter how far we fall, we don't just get back up. We rise stronger, wiser, and more determined than before. But this isn't just my story. It's a story for all of us. How many of you have felt defeated? How many of you have faced moments that tested your strength, your confidence, or even your identity? Resilience isn't about going back to who you were. It's about growing into who you are meant to be. Resilience is a choice we make in every difficult moment. It's built in those small, powerful decisions to keep going when quitting seems easier. It's forged in those moments when we decide to rise above the challenges that seek to define us. Resilience isn't about recovery. It's about transformation. And when you decide to rise, you're not just rewriting your own story. You're inspiring others to rise with you. Together, we can create a ripple of strength, courage, and hope that changes the world. Thank you.